Hello everyone, I am the Sports Wiz 101, and today I'll be giving you my predictions for week 15 of the NFL season. So I will predict all of these games set to take place in week 15 after all of the bye weeks for the regular season have concluded. All 16 teams will be in action. We'll look to improve from last week where we went 11-3. So here we go. Let's start, as always, with the AFC matchups, and we jump in with my Kansas City Chiefs playing Thursday night football at the Los Angeles Chargers. This is going to be a huge game. Winner is going to have control, first place of the AFC West. Now, if you'll remember the first time the Chiefs and Chargers met up, it was week 3 in Kansas City. And it was a game where Kansas City turned the ball over 4 times, including 3 times on snaps that were inside Charger territory. And the Chiefs only lost that game by 6. So I could make that argument that the Chiefs handed the Chargers that win on that day. One thing I believe to be true is Kansas City will not be handing the Chargers anything. If the Chargers win this game, it's because they earned it. Now, here, I ask myself, what do I expect the defenses to do in this game? And the way the Chiefs defense has been playing as of late, I expect them to hold the Chargers to a decent amount. Maybe not 9 points like they held the Cowboys, Broncos, and Raiders to. They held all 3 of those to exactly 9 points. I think the Chargers are going to get a bit more than 9 points. Their offense is just too good for that to happen. That being said, I think the Chargers are going to score a bit less than most people seem to think, which means the Chargers' defense is going to have to play a heck of a game in order to keep LA in this one. And while I do think they can have some success against Mahomes, I just don't think that LA is going to be successful enough on defense for them to hold Kansas City long enough for the Chargers to win. Give me Kansas City. It may be a bit of a lower scoring game than some might expect. We move on to the Saturday games. Yes, it's the first Saturday games of the NFL season. Start with the Raiders and the Browns. Now, Cleveland has been hit hard by COVID, much like the NFL in general has been hit hard by COVID. In fact, Cleveland is going to be without some of their key players if they remain on the COVID list. Players like Jarvis Landry, David Njoku, Austin Hooper, and then just today, Baker Mayfield and Coach Stefanski were both placed on the COVID list. Plus, you have some of their better offensive linemen like Wyatt Teller and Jedrick Wills also on the COVID list. But on the other side, the Browns have had to deal with missing a bunch of key players a ton already in this season. And sure, they're going to be, as of right now, without Coach Stefanski with that bout with COVID. But they were also without him last year in the wild card matchup against Pittsburgh. And if you'll remember correctly, they blew out the Steelers in that game. So maybe not having Coach Stefanski isn't as big a loss as it might seem. And I'm going to pick the Browns to win this game a bit closer than I think the current line would suggest. But the Raiders are just too much in a free fall for them to put forward a good enough effort for them to win this game. The Browns, meanwhile, I think they still see themselves as playoff contenders, and that's going to lead to the Browns winning this game with a strong effort. Okay, and then this next game, Patriots and Colts in Indy on Saturday night, is a game I could honestly see going either way. If you were to tell me that the Patriots are going to win this game going away, you would not shock me. But I'm still taking the Colts here. In this battle between two of the AFC's top three, between two of the AFC's hottest teams, I look at the matchup on Patriots offense versus Colts defense. And the Patriots run offense, I should say, it could very well get shut down by a Colts team that is among the better run defenses in the league. Which means that Mac Jones is going to have to win this game for New England. And I just don't trust Mac Jones to do that in a big game environment like this quite yet. So give me Indianapolis to win that one. Jets, Dolphins, Miami, coming off of a bye. Miami's defense has been on a roll. I fully expect them to continue here against a dreadful offense like the Jets, so give me Miami to win that one. Titans, Steelers. Good news for Tennessee. It sounds like Derrick Henry is going to be on his way back and should be back by the time the playoffs start. Bad news, you're not going to have him against the Steelers, one of the worst run defenses in the league. Here I'm going to take the team I think is better offensively right now, and that is Pittsburgh. And that's not to say I think Pittsburgh is that good offensively. That's more to say how bad I think Tennessee is offensively without Derrick Henry. So give me Pittsburgh to win there. Texans, Jaguars. And this is the game I'm like, do I really have to pick this game? I'll take Jacksonville because I think their offense really has more potential than really Houston's does. Granted, that's kind of like saying I'd rather eat a booger than eat earwax. But oh well. Next up, Cincinnati, Denver. Based on the gambling lines, this is actually going to be the first upset I picked this week. I'm taking Cincinnati. I just don't think the Broncos' offense is going to do much of anything against the Cincinnati defense. I think the Bengals' pass offense will be able to get plenty done against the Bronco defense. Simple as that. I'll go with the Bengals to win there. Bills, Panthers. So for Carolina, it's basically the same thing I've been thinking about the Broncos for the past few years. If only you had a consistent quarterback. It's what's going to keep them out of the postseason, and it's what's going to keep them out of this game against Buffalo, a team who actually has a consistently good quarterback. Give me Buffalo to win there. Packers, Ravens. So this is going to be the Green Bay Packers versus a Baltimore Ravens with questions at quarterback after Lamar Jackson had to leave the game with Cleveland due to an injury. It does sound like Lamar is expected to play in this game, but still, I'm taking the Packers against a hobbled Lamar Jackson. Maybe the Ravens have a chance with a healthy Lamar, but not with someone just coming off of injuring their ankle in the loss to Cleveland. Moving on, Washington, Philly, the Eagles coming off a bye. I like that Eagle offense to get some work done against the Washington defense. So give me Philadelphia to win there. Cardinals, Lions. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking the Cardinals. They have been extremely good on the road. They're 7-0 on the road. I think the Lions give a good fight. They'll at least maybe keep it close. But this is a game the Cardinals should win going away. Cowboys, Giants, I'll take the team with the better offense, and right now, I think that team is Dallas. I just don't see much of an offense when I look at the Giants. Falcons, 49ers. Give me San Francisco here. The Falcons are somehow 6-7 despite having stats that would scream one of the worst teams in the league. San Francisco has been relatively hot as of late. I'll take the 49ers there. Seahawks and Rams. Give me LA. It looks like Matthew Stafford's starting to return to form, especially after his huge performance this past Monday night against the Cardinals. So give me LA to win that one. Next one is my upset of the week. I'm taking the Saints. And this is based primarily on the fact that since Tom Brady came to Tampa Bay, the Saints have been one of the few teams to have done pretty good against Tampa Bay. Including playoffs, they are 3-1 against Tom Brady's Buccaneers, 3-0 in the regular season. And if you'll remember, they blew out Tampa Bay in front of the nation last season. However, I don't think it's going to be quite that bad. I do think Tampa Bay is still going to have a fighting chance late in this one. But in the end, the Saints, especially with Alvin Kamara back in there, they're going to win this game and get a huge win when it comes to their hopes of making the postseason. Vikings-Bears, this is going to be another upset, though not quite as big as the Saints-Bucks upset. I'll take Chicago. Why? Because I think this is another game where the Vikings' tendency to play games close, to play games up or down to their competition. I think this is another game like the Detroit game where that comes back to bite him in the butt. Especially with how good and how impressed I was with the Bears' offense this past Sunday against the Packers. Yeah, give me Chicago to beat the Vikings on Monday Night Football. And so there you go. There's my predictions for Week 15 of the NFL season. Now, before I go, I should mention that next week I will be on vacation. I'll try to get a video out, but it will not look like this. It might have a different format than this. But I will try to get a video out despite my vacation. But until then, I've been the Sports Wiz 101, and I will see you all later.